Hey, I hope you're having a great week this week, as always. I want to talk to you about something today that maybe you've struggled with in the past. I know I have, and it's something I really want to be good at, and it kind of affects two areas of our life. But first, let me tell you a quick story. I recently got a new job and am working with the same people I was working with before, but just in a new company. And I really wanted to make sure I have the right attitude about work every day. And one day I was mowing the grass and had a lot on my mind about that. And I was praying to God, and I just had these 10 things come to me really, really quickly. So I jumped off the mower, ran in the house, and I typed them out on the computer. And I get up and I read these almost every single day I go to work. I have them memorized now, but I was reading them every day verbatim for a while. But you can tell the paper's kind of worn, and I keep it in my book bag. And here are some of the 10. Check your ego and pride at the door. Work every single day like it's your first day. Work every single day like they won't invite you back if you don't work hard and display servant leadership. Love everyone and be kind. Here's one I really like. Mode of operation should always be yes and. In other words, if someone were to come to me and say, Roy, can you do this? My answer should be yes. And do you need anything else? Always yes and. Be the first to volunteer. Be a team player. Those two go without saying, but it's important to remember. But here's the one I really want to talk about today. Don't talk negatively about anyone, anytime, anywhere, ever. Do you ever struggle with that, or have you struggled with that at any point in your life where you just kind of find yourself getting home at the end of the day and you kind of talk negatively about your coworkers, or negatively about the people at the store, or negatively about the way people are acting? And pretty soon you kind of get a raw spirit. You kind of get a negative attitude about people and about life, and it's just not an attractive trait. In fact, one of the things that's a problem with that is it goes against the teachings of Jesus. Jesus said very clearly in Matthew 7:1, do not judge or you too will be judged. Now, people who don't know the Bible, people who aren't even Christians know that verse. That might be the most popular verse to the people who don't know the Bible or aren't Christians. But Jesus goes on and says a few more things. He says, for in the same way you judge others, you too will be judged. With the same measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there's a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite. First take the plank out of your own eye, then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Sometimes people think Jesus wasn't very funny. He didn't tell funny things. But in the Sermon on the Mount, people were probably laughing when he said that, because you can imagine someone walking around with this huge plank sticking out of their eye, trying to point out that, oh, over there, you have a speck. I see something in your life that you need to work on. When all along, there's this huge plank sticking out of their own eye. Don't we all do that? Aren't we all guilty of that? And I was telling Aaron the other night at supper that I really want to make sure that I'm just really, really careful about never talking negatively about anyone, anytime, anywhere, ever. Happened the other day. I almost said something, and she saw me and she knew I was going to say something, and she caught me, and it caused me to change what I was going to say and how I was going to say it. And I was like, you're right. But what really got to me, and I'll never forget, was we were having this conversation, and I told her I just didn't want to have this negative attitude where I talk negatively against people. And she said, not even against yourself? And she grabbed her plate and got up and walked away from the table. Now, the reason she said that is Aaron knows that I've really struggled with saying negative things about myself. Call myself stupid, I'm dumb. I've even referred to myself as a failure in the past. And that's not pretty to admit. And I kind of hesitate saying that, but I want to be honest. Have you ever done that? Have you ever talked negatively about yourself? Have you ever said things to yourself that aren't pretty, that wouldn't be pleasing to God, that if you said it to another person, it would be maybe sinful or maybe just incredibly rude and mean? I don't believe God is okay with us talking negatively against ourselves any more than he is against another person. And so I want to encourage you, if you at all can relate to what I'm talking about, take this simple teaching of Jesus, do not judge or you too will be judged, and your attitudes toward other people and your attitude to yourself at heart. And really think about what you say before you speak. Really listen to yourself and ask your husband, your spouse, your wife, a good friend, ask them to listen to your language. And if they catch you saying something negative about somebody else or something negative about yourself, ask them to bring it up to you. I told a good friend of mine one time, if you hear me say anything negative about myself, you have permission to punch me in the arm as hard as you can. So far, he hasn't done it. I'm really careful about that, and I'm trying to get better at it. And I hope that this helps you really listen to your own words and listen to how you speak about yourself and other people. As always, keep walking with Jesus. Have a great week. And if I can do anything to help you, please reach out to me. God bless you. See you next week.